Alright, boys and girls, we're gonna look at some Audison products and some Hertz products that we're gonna install in our car. We will make unboxing videos of each product just to show you what's inside, the content, maybe give you a little bit of information, what it does, and hopefully it will help you choose when you're gonna choose your own product for your car stereo. Now, this stereo is full digital audio. It's 24-bit, 96 hertz. So it's a really high quality sound that you can get out of this. There's no, it's only optical cables that goes through, and that what they have is something called TP link or AC link. So let's start with the heart of the whole system. If you're gonna have really high quality sound, this is what you need. This will work as your filters instead of having the passive filters in your car that you put, you know, between the tweeter and the mid-range and the bass, the mid-bass. You will do everything with this. Frequencies, time delays, all those things, and many more things. So let's start opening this baby and see what's inside. Now, Audison is Italian. It's an Italian company. We have been waiting a while for this equipment here now, because this one was not even built when we ordered it. So we're now in 2007, actually August 2, 2017, I mean, and we this was, I think, released in 2016. It already have the ISA awards 2016, 2017 for its wide range of functions that you can do with this. So let's open up and see. I think I'm gonna, well, that's it. Here we have a card to be handed by to the product owner. So some information here. There's a card here. I think this is the registration and the serial number of the product so that you can register it, warranties and those things. Of course, there's a quick start guide for the Bit One HD. There is some CDs in here. These CDs, there's actually one CD and one DVD if I'm not mistaken. I've been cheating and looking a little bit at it before. There's this one, which is a DVD, test signal DVD. In the car that this is going to be installed in, it's a BMW E60 with the Navigation Pro, and that one has the DVD. But I'm not sure if this will work with my car, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I can put this on a hard drive or something in high quality. These are the sine sweep, white noise, the pulses, the pink noise, and some more sine sweeps from different hertz to use when you're gonna set up this DSP, because you can actually take one tweeter and do the tests and do the sound sweeps and adjust the filters and do all those things one by one. So that's kind of neat. DSP stands for Dynamic Sound Processor. So it's fairly advanced equipment and not really cheap product, but it's for enthusiasts that like high quality sound. It's supposed to be the cream de la cream. So I've never heard it before, so I'm very excited to install it actually. There's some more owner's manual for this. This is called a DRC. Let me open this. This is a small, if you like gadgets, you will enjoy this. It's a small, there's a display here, buttons here. this works like a joystick. You have volume, you can press it, so this will work in many ways. Oh, and you can even pull it off. It has a housing. Let's see. Yeah, here. It has a housing that you can take it out of. So this one, you can, let's say this is a panel on your car. You cut out and you place this inside, so it's flush with the surface of the panel. And then this one can be taken out and in if you want. There's a connection here for the cable that goes all the way to the processor that we have here. Small little neat thing. I like it that it's in black. The previous versions was in like silver or aluminum, which stands out more, and for me I like it a little bit more discreet, but still it's a really cool little thing. So what do you do with this? You can like, you have the heavy metal here, you have the disco here, you have the R&B here. You know, you can preset kind of settings for whatever music you like, so it fits the type of music you're playing for your taste. You know, there's always talk about what's the correct sound and what's not correct sound, what's the correct setup and not correct. But I really believe that the correct setup is what you like for your music. Today everything is processed and gone through all kinds of adjustment at the studio, so I don't see any reason why you cannot do it the way you like. Of course, maybe some kind of live music maybe, and classical music, there's some, but anyway, I think most people will agree with me that it's our own ears and what we like. Let's open this box. I'm not gonna open it. Well, I can open it fully here. Just put this away here, right here. Okay. So here is the DSP, the box itself. What I noticed with this is it's heavy. It seems like it's very solid made. It's metal. It's a quality product. It's not plastic, and it seems like it's properly built. So let's look at. Of course, I have to admit, I've never installed it. I've never used it, so I still have a lot to learn about this. So I might give you some wrong information, maybe, but you can correct me in the comments below. Here we have, it says speakers in. So I guess if you have a system where you are taking the speakers from the stereo, the original stereo, like in the BMW, there is, you cannot exchange, you cannot take out the stereo and put in a 1-din or 2-din player. So some might choose to take the signal from the stereo from the speakers. One neat thing with this is that, like the BMW and I'm sure many others, they already have a setup in the car, the time delay, everything is already done. So when you connect the speaker cables here, you get what BMW or the producer of the stereo think that this is the way it should be. The neat thing about this machine here is that it will take that information, it will redo everything and set it up properly. So if you have, let's say in my setup I have the smallest stereo, so the sound, for example, that goes to the back, many will take the speaker cables that goes to the back and they will connect that to an amplifier and to a woofer, and that's it. But the thing is that the signal that comes from, depending on the stereo you have in your car, but like my car that has the smallest, the frequencies that will be played by the cables that go to the back is only the higher frequencies. The lower frequencies is cut off because the speakers are small in the shelf in the back. So, but this will give you a full signal again if you use this. So very neat thing. There's the optical in. So I'm gonna show you later. I can just, well, it doesn't matter, it's just a box. But this box is very crucial for my setup because in my car there's something called MOST. That is the BMW's own digital kind of system. I can show you here. I think I have a cable here that shows the plugs. You know, these are not the ones that you're used to seeing in your stereo. You have usually Toslink in your own stereo, and this is the MOST setup. So what I need to do is I need to connect my system in the car to a box called a DMI that gives me again this Toslink, and from here everything is Toslink or based on the AD and AC link. What can I say about this thing? There are so many possibilities. I think the best thing is to read about it because I cannot really explain everything here. It has some features. One thing that I think is really neat, which is not made yet, but they have said that they might do this, or they have said that they will do this, is that there's a, you know, RVA it's called. I'm not sure what it stands for, but they're talking about making noise canceling for your car. Wouldn't that be cool? So if you put I don't know how they would do it, but let's say you put a microphone somewhere, and register the noise that you have in your car, which in a more high-end car is less noise, of course, because of the dampening in the car, but it will neutralize the road noise, everything through the speakers, so you can have complete silence in the car when you're out driving. You've probably seen this in headphones like Bose. They have that function, and many others. That's a neat thing. I hope they really will make that work. That would be nice. Let's just continue. So we have viewed the box. We have viewed the remote here. Let's see what's in the box beside that. We have some cables. Well, let's just rip it up and see. Okay, this is probably the cable that links. It looks like, you know, phone cable or network cable. This is what connects the amplifiers to the DSP. So I'm not sure. I haven't been installing this yet, but we have different products like the BitPlay HD as well. Maybe it needs to be connected with one cable like this. So I don't know if all the cables you need is here if you have a bigger setup, but we'll see. I'm sure that you can buy these separate from Audison. So there you go. One of those, two of those, and then a new cable. This seems to be the one for the what you call the DRC. Yeah, for the remote here. Try to not make the plastic flow away. Let's just take this out again. I even put it the wrong way in here. So this cable here will fit here. At least so I thought. Yeah. So this is how it will be. So all of this need to be hidden, you know, behind the dash or wherever you want to install it. But it's really thin, so it makes it possible to install in, I would say, many areas. It's not that bulky, and and I don't know how many meters. I would think 4.5, but I'm not sure. But 4.5 meter would be enough to put it from the dashboard all the way back to the trunk or wherever you want to install it if you have a truck, you have more room in the dashboard. If you have, like I have a BMW, it's a little bit more cramped, so it's better to have it in the back. That's what I'm gonna do. So that's neat. Let's see if this will unplug as well. Oh yeah, perfect. So that's the cable. There's some screws, and yeah, okay. So this, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see this. I'm not gonna unpack it, but it's just a bracket, metal bracket that is soft. You can, if I'm not mistaken, you can install it like this in the back. So this will squeeze on the panel from the back and make it stick better. So it's just an installation thing. And then there is this one. Obviously this is to make stereo phono. I'm not sure in English what you call it. I think it's phono. But this is to the RCA, the jack. So probably this is to connect it to your phone. If you want to play directly through cable to your phone, then you can use this. So that's neat that there's a little bit of options that is included. Right, next cable. Let's see what this is. It's kind of like, you know, kid at a candy shop. I like it. It's fun to figure out how it works and how it's gonna be. All right, okay. So this is the RCA cable that was for that plug for your phone. It's just a plain long, looks like a quality product from Japan. Says here. So this is not from Italy. From Italy. And of course they don't. I mean, Audison don't make these cables, so they buy that from others. And I'm sure that because this is supposed to be a little bit more high-end sound, they make sure that the products that they buy is also good. Making a lot of noise now with the plastic. Sorry. All right, next. Okay, this is done differently. Okay. So this is probably a power cable, or right. So regular USB. You need to connect. I'll open this again. You need to connect the DSP to a computer to make it work. To do the setup and everything that you need to do. So here, in this end, we didn't even look at that. You have the USB and the update ports and those things. So I'm sure that these plugs, none of these fit there. So we have controls, which seem to fit here, and then of course the speakers. This one will fit here. So there's actually plugs and what you need to make that work if you want. And it actually the cables seem to be branded, but not necessarily with left and right and so on. But anyway, there's probably a diagram on which cable go where. So so they've been thinking about that. So you have all those things. So the USB for updating and also for adjusting, because everything you do is the software on your computer that you do, and you update the box and it will do what you say it should do. Cool. Then the last thing that's in the box here, that's a bigger cable. Oh, come on. Oh. Okay, let's do that. All right. yet another phone cable. This is if you want to have a phone connect. No, I'm just kidding. This is probably, I gotta think. Is this the, no, the connection to the computer is USB. And this one is a smaller one because the other ones here that connect the amplifiers, they're bigger, wider. This is like the small phone, you know, if you're old enough to have been when we had the analog modem, that kind of modem. The plug looked like this. So let's see if there's well, there is. It's called DRC. Of course I should have known what the DRC is. I've been reading about it, but I just cannot remember. Anyway, if it's there, oh, I gotta grab that before it disappears. Alright, so I guess this is everything that we have for this controller, the DSP itself. Actually, these were 2 cables. I wish I could tell you exactly. Okay, it says AC link. Okay, so these are the AC link plugs. Okay. Cables, and user manuals and CDs and everything that you need to learn this. But this one probably will take a little bit of time to set up and properly learn. So if it takes you 2 weeks to install the stereo, it takes you 5 weeks to adjust this and figure it out the perfect sound for you. Who knows? Alright, thank you for watching. You remember we were talking about these 2 cables. I was a little bit confused because this is they're different. The plugs are different. This is a wider, more, I don't know, advanced, and this is kind of the old style, the old school cable. You see? So what I figured out is that you have here AD link 1 and then AC link. I should have known, you know, AD and AC, what it stands for. Look it up. I'm not sure. But anyway, and of course the AD link here. So if you look at them, this one is a little bit wider than this one, and this one is a little bit wider than this one. So this one fits in the first one called AD, and this one fits in the other one. So there you go. There's 2, I don't know if it's bandwidth or why it's like this. Maybe I can figure it out on the way and we'll give you an update on that. But that's why there's 2 cables at least. They're for these AD and AC link. So there you go. Thank you.